still be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Hey cuties, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm here to share 3 fall looks for your male Sims. As always, you can find links to all of the CC that I'm using in the description down below. And as always, all of the Sims for today's lookbooks are Sims I have created in previous Creator Sim videos. I'll make sure to link each of them whenever we move into that Sims look, so you can go find all of the CC the Sim had on previous to the lookbook over there, so like skin details, presets, all of that good stuff will be linked in those videos. But without further ado, let's get straight into this. I said this in last week's female fall lookbook. These are like my favorite videos to record, and I'm really feeling the fall vibes right now. I just had so much fun. So there's 3 like quite different looks, I would say. I can't for once pin down which my favorite one is. I tried to go with like the first one, I would say, a little bit more cool and laid back. The second one I think is really cute with like a little sweater vest, no cardigan, that's the word, with a little cardigan. And then the last one is a very laid back with some joggers. I did the same for the female Sims because that's also what I associate with fall. It's just like some cozy vibes, you know, maybe you're just curled up on your sofa reading or watching something, drinking a tea, and that just also just makes me like think of fall a lot. So very different looks, and I can't really choose my favorite today. I usually can. I don't know why it was so hard today. Maybe it's the first one. I don't know. I can't. Don't make me choose. I also tried to go for some like rusty colors, but I noticed that none of the CC items that I liked had the perfect color. So I just went with like more muted browns and beiges for this video. I just think they look the best in fall. I don't know what it is. It's just like totally my color palette that I'm into, so we went for it. And I was gonna say something else, wasn't I? I feel like my brain has just been scrambled for weeks now. I don't know what that is about. Well, we were talking about fall, and I was gonna say that it is just like finally feeling like fall here. The leaves are slowly turning, it's slowly cooling down, it's currently raining, or like, I mean, it was raining, it looks like just a bit of a drizzle now and like windy, and that is exactly what I'm in the mood for. And it's so funny because throughout the summer I haven't actually been doing a lot of reading, and I really wanted to get back into it. I set myself a goal to read, I believe, 50 books this year, and I was like a little bit behind, not a lot. I was like 2 or 3 books behind schedule. I don't know if you know Goodreads. If you're a reader, you might. If not, you probably have never heard of it. It's just a platform where people have their little accounts, and you can put all of the books that you want to read or that you have read in there, and you can also set a goal for yourself. And then if you say, like me, you're going to read 50 books, it tells you if you're on track to read those 50 books, or if you're a little bit behind. And like I said, I'm like 2 or 3 books behind, but yesterday I was like, I don't know, I just felt like reading so badly. And then the day before I literally just spent I don't know, 2 or 3 hours in bed where I wanted to read, trying to find a book that I want to read. And that is like the most annoying stage to be in, because a lot of times I would feel like I want to read, but I have no idea what I want to read, and there's like so many options, so it feels super overwhelming, because I have the library that I'm signed up to, then I have a few physical books, I have a few physical books from the library that I'm signed up to, and then I also have Script, which is like a platform you can sign up to and read books, like as many books as you want for that set price per month. So I had so many things to choose from, and I didn't know what I wanted to read, and I was kind of in the mood for so many different things. I think that night I was in the mood for some like young adult dystopian fantasy book for some reason. It's very weird because I never read those type of books, but I think I just like craved an easy read, and I feel like those books are so easy to read because of the language. Obviously it's young adult, so the language being used is like a bit more simple than an adult fantasy. And then I also think they're quite like page turner-ish. That's not a word, but it is now. So I feel like you just always want to know more because that is kind of how they're written, so it's just always a fast read for me if I'm into them at least. But because I'm not into those books, it was super hard for me to pick one because I was like, I don't know which ones are actually good and which are just rated good by like actual teenagers, which when I was younger, I rated books so differently. Like I was blown away by so many more books than I am today, which is obviously because they were targeted towards me as a teen. But I feel like some young adult fantasy you can still read as a full-on adult and enjoy, and they still feel completed and nice. But the next day I was like, it's fall. That was also like kind of contradicting because I was like, it's fall. I want to read like spooky things because it is the spooky season, especially in October. And I do usually read like thrillers and horror books most of the time. And I just couldn't find any that I wanted to read or that I fancied reading. And then yesterday night, I just spent a few hours watching all of my favorite booktubers, so people on YouTube doing book content, and I was just getting a little bit inspired, and now I have too many books I want to read, and I just got into one yesterday and it's been very interesting so far. I just love getting into a new book, and I have noticed that with thrillers, which is so mind-blowing because if you would have asked me a few years ago, I would have probably said the plot is the most important thing, but recently I have noticed that all of the thrillers that I was most excited about were usually just because of the atmosphere that was built. Like a lot of times it's places that feel very spooky or like places you can't leave from. I'm always thinking of a book called The Paris Apartment, which is just of a woman who has to like house sit this apartment and she can't really leave. Like I think throughout the whole book she leaves the apartment twice or something, and I don't know, it's just the eerie vibe that I got from that book, and it was very like unsettling, I would say. And I just loved that. I was like so excited to read that book. And even if the plot wasn't, I mean, the plot was like a little bit, I hate to say predictable because it's not the same for everyone, is it? Like I managed to predict most of it whilst a lot of people wouldn't. So I don't know how to judge that because sometimes you just get lucky. You're like, I think this is it, and then it actually turns out to be that. I try to usually not actually analyze too much in thrillers of like who could have done it, because then I'm usually disappointed if I guess correctly. So usually I just like keep an open mind and I'm like, I'm not the detective, I'm just reading. You know, I'm just like the observer. I'm just sitting here and letting it all settle in and like not trying to think ahead. It's often hard, but you know, it does work sometimes. But I would have thought that plots were like the most important thing to me, and it's still, I feel like it's what differentiates like a 4 or 3.5 star book to a 5-star book for me is definitely if the plot was right, but it can't even be a 4-star book if I didn't like the atmosphere, even if the plot was great, because the plot usually happens throughout like the last few pages, I feel like, in a thriller. So you know, it's really about the vibes. But anyways, this video is coming to an end real soon here. Let me know which your favorite look of today was, and with that said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I already said that, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all next time. Bye!